Alu, Mogalis, Dracaris, Ritsas, Karimvos, Geros Ilas. Yeah, I know a little bit of Valerian. Don't ask me what those phrases mean. I'm a little late to the party. I didn't end up doing anything today. Did my friends invite me out to do some climbing? Yes, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. So, I've been chug maxing pretty much the whole day. I like chug maxing. I don't think I want to stop. Anyway, a little late to the party to the House of Dragon season 3. I think they're at 7 episodes right now. I think this season's about an 8-episode season. I've just watched the first 3 episodes, so 3 episodes knee deep, and I like what I'm seeing so far. It's pretty good. Kind of wish I started a little earlier. But at this point, I can just binge the rest of the episodes. I watched the first episode, I was like, this is pretty good. I like how it's starting off. We got started off with naval warfare. I haven't seen that in a while. With all the Game of Thrones projects, including Night of the Seven Kingdom, all 7 or 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, and in the first 2 seasons of House of the Dragons. There wasn't really any naval warfare, including dragons, in it. I mean, it's season 3, but like, I guess if you don't want spoilers for it, here's your spoiler warning. There you go, spoilers. I've enjoyed House of Dragon, season 1 and 2, so I'm really gaseous and everything. I have been drinking, well, energy drinks in the middle of the day, and eating like chips and junk food. I'm having the time of my life. It's not good for my body. I implore you, if you're of age, to watch House of Dragon, Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I think they're pretty good shows. Maybe not the last 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. That one I'm pretty conflicted about, but House of Dragon so far is pretty good. If not for the fantasy aspects or the politics or the scheming, then watch for the hot people and the amazing performances that they put on. But mostly the hot people, which is a little weird because most of these characters, wow, the chips are really getting to me. Most of these characters are the result of inbreeding. But in Rhaenyra, I believe, despite her incestuous backgrounds, I can almost overlook that. Almost. I don't really like the Targaryens all that much, like any of them. Daemon, kind of the exception. I really liked his performance as the 11th Doctor. And I know his character is pretty cold-blooded and all that, but you know what he does do? He gets things done. Like, when he says it, he actually gets it done, and he tries to do it with the utmost efficiency. I like that. Most of these guys kind of just talk around a big table about how do we solve this problem, and then you have Daemon who actually does something. Now, I haven't made a video about House of Dragon beforehand, because the channel and all that is not that old. Well, it's 6 months old, but House of Dragon Season 2 came out a while ago, and I watched it then. I have to talk about the settings. I like that in these shows, I don't have to be reminded that I'm in the world of Westeros. I think they've done... What I mean is, I think they've done a really good job of not having to constantly remind you, treat me like an idiot, put information in my face to remind me that this world is one of fantasy. I know they're dragons, but they're kind of like the cherry on top. In King's Landing, there's King's Landing, that massive castle in ruin. What's the other castle there's there? Oh, Dragonstone, another castle, or I guess base or fort that Rhaenyra's using. And there's many, vast mountains and valleys. Not to mention, everyone's fit is so tough. Rhaenyra, when she's in her rider outfit, black garments that contrast her black hair, so tough. The same thing can be said about Daemon. Now, I've seen this, I don't know where, but the white hair, I happen to have one here, but I think it really complemented if they wore red shades. I think it would look really good if they wore red shades. It would really complement it. But, oh well. I don't think glasses are really a thing in House of the Dragon, but if they did, red shades to go. Or wear it in promotion. I don't know. I'm not a fashion guy. I have never read the House of Dragon or Game of Thrones books, so I'm not sure if the show is being true to the source material. I do know that it's fine if I haven't read the Game of Thrones books because it's not even finished yet. Apparently, the dude's still writing the new books. What's his name? George R. R. Martin. Like, there's memes about how he's gonna die before finishing the books. I hope that doesn't happen. But from what I've seen, like, it seems with the consensus with audience and critics alike, that for season 1 and 2 of House of Dragon was well received. And I also agree with that. I enjoyed it. Now for me, again, never read the books, so everything I see is news to me. So when Jace died, I was like, damn. I mean, let's just say I kind of had a feeling when he locked Rhaenyra's room and he flew off to battle. I was like, he might die. Like, are they actually gonna kill him off? Because that could. I'm starting to feel that the heebie-jeebies. But I was still a little shocked that it still happened because he was like Rhaenyra's son, the heir, well, the illegitimate son, but the Rhaenyra's heir. His death was not overly dramatic. It was like quick. It was quiet. I guess pirates don't take prisoners. I wouldn't know. I've never met a pirate. I don't remember Monkey D. Luffy taking prisoners. But now that he's dead, Rhaenyra no longer has an heir. So kind of. And since Westeros is a patriarchal society, having Rhaenyra, a woman, who also has no male heir, except for her third son, which I don't remember where, but he was like sent off to be somewhere sent. I don't think it was to the Wall. I don't think so. But now she has to sit on the Iron Throne, and people may be uncomfortable with that because it's against the current norm. It doesn't ring true to the culture that they grew up with. Yeah, these were my thoughts. This show does that to you. I had a little voice crack. It's kind of like how people get sucked into reality shows. Except House of Dragon is set in a world where knights and dragons, nobilities clash it out on both the battlefield and the dinner table. I also really like the dialogue. It's super caliente is what I would say. The performances, the actors and actresses are like cream of the crop. One little thing that you may get thrown, I'm not too disturbed by it, but there's a couple of time skips, like fast forwards. Not in season 3, but in the past 2 seasons there have been. But for the older versions of Rhaenyra and Alicent, it's the same actress. They're supposed to be like, what, 30 or something? But they don't look the same? I don't know. I'm not complaining though. It's just something I noticed, but I'm like, that's cool. I mean, yes, they're supposed to be a lot older than season 1, but oh well. What I really liked about them is like every time, especially when it came to a monologue, it's like the lights in my room have like dimmed down just to create focus on whatever's being said. I feel like I'm in a theater. It's just me and the film. Every episode, I wouldn't stretch it as far to say it feels like a movie, but you can kind of feel the quality in it. I think the budget, I can't remember. It was like reportedly 120 to 200 million for the entire season. I don't know how much is for each episode, but so far for that first 3 episodes, that budget kind of makes sense. It feels right. Like Stranger Things, season 5. Remember that show? In episode 3, we see Rhaenyra, sitting on the Iron Throne. She's claimed it. And, as so conquering, or sort of conquering, she kind of walked through the front door, but she assumed the throne, and now she has to take on her duties as the new queen. That includes attending to the needs of her people, which unfortunately is kind of difficult to. And it's made even worse because there are actually numerous problems in King's Landing, thanks to the shitty ruling of Aegon. Also the blockade made by Rhaenyra. Oh, to make things a lot worse, she has basically no money. I think her treasure is just completely emptied or something like that. And I'm pretty sure it was the guy who went off to recruit the pirates. By the way, the pirates, the female captain, I don't know her name. I thought she was going to be way more important, but like, she She had like 5 minutes of screen time and then disappeared. She seemed like she was gonna hold more weight to the show, but that's it. Anyway, the dude was on that ship. I think he got stabbed and then dropped into the sea with all that armor on him. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure when he landed in the water, there was like a spiked rock that hit him in the back. And plus, he was wrapped up in ropes. I'm pretty sure he's not coming back from that. So getting information out of him is kind of out of the question. And Rhaenyra knows this too, so she adopts some extreme actions, you could say, such as taking huge sums of money and food from the other nobles. And then she gives out that same food herself personally to get in the good graces of her people. The show doesn't tell you that. I kind of just pieced it together. And I'm pretty stupid. I love it. I love it when, what's that rule? Show, don't tell. Story writing, rule 101. And I'm not a writer. She's handing out food. Personally, why? They don't tell you why. But you can figure it out yourself. She wants these people to accept her as the new ruler. Because she kind of just like appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, I pieced that together. Look how smart I am. Everyone pieced that together. But you get the idea. Story writing 101 or show don't tell, it got hammered into my skull in English class. I'm actually pretty excited for the future of the season. I think they said it's going to be 8 seasons of House of Dragon, so I'm excited for that as well. And this is only the first 3 episodes. Yes, they started off with a sizzling start, but they're cooking right now. It's like they're putting ingredients, setting it to boil and all that, and they're ready for this delicious stew that they're gonna make everyone eat up by towards the end of the season. I'm just guessing. I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. By the way, season's only started. Yes, Rhaenyra has taken the throne. Sort of. Yes, King's Landing, specifically its people, have kind of accepted her as the new ruler. But Aegon is still on the run. Aemon is still out there with his dragon at that ruined castle. And he's even met up with I think she's a witch. She hasn't actually shown any mystical abilities, but I think she's a witch. Sir Christian, I haven't seen him at all. He's gone like 2 minutes of screen time, but he's still out there with Alicent's army, or the Hightower's army. There's another Hightower army that Daemon confronted, but they tricked him by giving him a fake son of Alicent. What else issues? Oh, the current religion, the faith of the Seven. They won't not recognize, what was the word they used? Coronate Rhaenyra because Aegon is still alive. She assures them that they're dead, but they said, we have to confirm it before we can coronate you. There's one plot that I hope just becomes a plot hole. Like, I don't want to explore it anymore. It's kind of weird. But that weird kiss that happened between Alicent and Aemond, can that stay as like a plot hole? Because that was so uncomfortable to watch. I know in some cultures they do that, and that's fine. But in this case, why was it so intimate? I for one don't really like Aemon. I was always like weirded out by the guy. I never saw him as terrifying, kind of like that stalker vibes from him. I guess I kind of see him terrifying for his swordsmanship skills and his dragon riding abilities, but like his whole character himself is just weird. Plus, he's really craves for his mother. I don't know. He just never really ringed for me. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the rest of the season and the future of the series. House of the Dragon, I think it's peak. I think they've been doing pretty well so far, and I'm ready to see more. I've spoken about this, but I love weekly releases. I love keeping the conversations going. So let's keep that up. Let's not do full releases. Let's keep doing weekly releases. With this, it just gets the series to be more relevant, stays on the internet faster, more people become interested, instead of just a fleeting moment. I'm not gonna harp too long about that. I just wanted to, share my appreciation of the show, and I'm really happy with how strong its quality is. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a good one. I'm still not clear if I should tell someone to watch Game of Thrones before watching House of the Dragon, or tell them it's okay to skip Game of Thrones and watch House of the Dragon. I don't know if there is a correct answer, but I'll always recommend A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. So Duncan is just my goat.